We've got Buccaneers football. Training camp is here. If you're excited, make sure to hit the like button on today's show. Let's see how many of Bucs fans love that training camp is back. Let's see. Can we get 200 likes on today's show? Even more if we are excited about Bucs training camp. God, I am so excited. Today's show is presented by PrizePicks. You're watching Bucs Breakdown. My name is Reid Bartkus. Thank you for watching today's show. Speaking of today's show, what are we talking about today? Vita Vea was at practice, but there's a little asterisk next to that. Tristan Wirfs injury. Another offseason injury. Hate to see that. And then a much-needed defensive back signing. That's the three things we're going to be talking about on today's show, so stay tuned. The first one we're talking about, though, is Vita Vea, of course, because that is the main headline in Bucs news lately. He was at practice, but he did not participate. So he was just standing there on the sideline with Todd Bowles, watching practice go along, and Rick Stroud said he was here at camp, but not practicing a hold-in while he insists on a trade. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then Rick Stroud later on replied to his comment and said, Vea has a hurt back, Bowles said. So he tweaked his back while working out yesterday. Do we really think he is hurt? Or is this more of like he doesn't want to get injured while he's requesting a trade, right? Because, one, when you request a trade, if you get hurt, nobody's going to trade for you, right? He's 31 years old, especially. So if he gets hurt, there's no teams. His value goes way down, right? And then the Bucs probably not going to extend him at that point, and then his entire value goes out the window. Plus, he has no guaranteed money, so if he gets hurt, then he can't earn any more money. You know, there's a reason, but, is he really hurt? That's the question we got to ask. And then, of course, Rob Motti, I hope I'm saying that right, Coach Bowles said Vita Vea tweaked something, which was his back, yesterday, and that's why he didn't practice. Bowles said he hasn't discussed a trade of Vita Vea with GM Jason Licht. Really? That seems interesting. Why, I know we're closed doors and closed knit on all this stuff, but with him sitting out, he requested a trade on Monday, and then Bowles said that they're not talking about, or he said he's injured, but what could he have done to get injured in that amount of time? Stuff is kind of adding up, but not really. Is he lying about the injury? Also, if he's lying about the injury, what's to say he isn't lying about the trade discussions that he's may or may not be having with Jason Licht, right? I don't know. This all seems like Vita Vea is yeah, I'm kind of injured. And then Jason Licht and Todd Bowles are all right, yeah, you're injured. And then you can sit out. We're not going to fine you because you don't want to get fined. And we want to find a spot for you to go or maybe continue trade talks with extension talks. I don't know. Do we really think Vita Vea tweaked his back? Be honest with me in the comment section right now. Yes or no? I made it capital, too. Yes or no? This seems like a very no, right? This feels like it's Vita Vea saying, I'm gonna say that I'm hurt just so I can sit out. And all right, let's be real, right? Because this has to be for not getting fined. Because you get fined, I think it's $50,000 or something every time you're not there at practice for training camp. Because this is mandatory, right? So if he's in a hold-in and he's not injured and he's not participating and he's not there, he's going to get fined. So I think him being a very cornerstone player and loved by probably the front office and the fans and everything, they don't want to fine him. And Vita Vea doesn't want to get fined, obviously. So I think it's ow, I tweaked my back. Okay, sit out. You're okay until we find you a place to trade. I don't know. You let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. But before we continue on with all the stuff that we're going to be talking about on today's show, got to give you a huge shout out to our people over at PrizePicks. If you guys are trying to win some money while watching your favorite sports, make sure to use our friends over at PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks is America's #1 sports pick app, as well as mine since 2022. So if that doesn't tell you that it's a great app to use, I don't know what does. Now, if you want a chance to win some money while watching your favorite sports, get started with our friends over at PrizePicks. The app is actually really simple to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. That's it. Now, a lineup that I got going on for the WNBA, it's 10 to win $32.50, if you care about the 50 cents. Now, we got Angel Reese the more on her points and rebounds. That's at 24.5. And then AZ Fudd, we got more on her three-pointers made, which is at 1.5, and then Paige Beckers, the more on her points, which is at 19.5. Now, if you can see those little green buddies there, that is a goblin pick, which means the payout might be lower, but it is an easier entry to hit, right? So, if you guys want to tail that or fade it, make sure to do it over on PrizePicks. Best of all, play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right, PrizePicks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 or more lineup. PrizePicks, code HMA. Download the app today. All right, continuing on with today's show. Tristan Wirfs' injury. I'm sure you didn't want to see this on your screen right now. Shout out to Greg Auman and Rick Stroud and every beat reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because without them, I would not be able to do any of these shows because I am in Dallas, Texas, and not in Tampa to watch these practices. Now, Greg Auman said Bowles said Tristan Wirfs tweaked the hamstring in the running test on Tuesday and will be out a bit as he recovers. So he'll be missing a couple weeks with the hamstring injury. We can't get a win, guys. Like, every time I used to look up Bucs news and there was nothing, right? There was just talks about, Baker Mayfield and Vita Vea. Maybe they're going to get contracts, but, like, everything was, like, fine. Like, nothing was really wrong. Like, ever since we get all of our guys in the draft and Ruben Bain and all our free agency, everything looks up, and then all of a sudden, dude, we can't get a win. Like, Tristan Wirfs is hurt. Like, come on, man. Last year, he was fantastic. He's one of, if not the best left tackle in the league right now. 92.7 overall PFF grade. His pass blocking 84, like run blocking 91, only 5 penalties last year and 778 snaps. Like, this might be crazy to say, but like, this team is screwed without Tristan Wirfs. Like, the beginning of the season, we were okay without him, but like, if we lose him this year, we need this starting offensive line to play together. All of them healthy. Tristan Wirfs, Ben Bredesen, Graham Barton, Cody Mock, Luke Gedeke. We need them all healthy to play with each other, because if not, like, with a new offense, you need all your guys healthy to get a good start on the season. And if Tristan Wirfs doesn't start the season, I think he will, but like, him starting over the hamstring injury right now, I just hate to see it, right? And I don't think anybody wants to see that. Now, the last thing we're going to be talking about on today's show is a much-needed defensive back signing. Now, if you are subscribed, you may have seen a short that I made on, and I accidentally called our new signing a cornerback. I meant to say safety, but I was just excited that we made a secondary depth signing, right? Because I think that's what we need right now. So Adam Schefter coming out with the news. Former Dolphins safety Ifeatu Melifonwu, I believe I'm saying that right, agreed to a 1-year deal with the Bucs per his agent Sean Stiletto. I love this, right? Ifeatu Melifonwu is not a crazy signing that's going to break headlines or anything like that, but it is something that we need, and it's a veteran depth secondary piece to this kind of not, I wouldn't say light secondary in terms of depth, but like, we needed some help a little bit. And he's 27 years old, drafted in the 2021 draft by the Detroit Lions. He ran a 4.440. He's had some ankle issues a little bit, but he did make a good amount of plays last year. Not a good amount, but like a 4th down pass breakup with the Dolphins. So, hey, I like it. Right in his career, 22 games started. He's got 14 PBUs, which is good. 5.5 sacks too, which is actually interesting to think about, because he could be coming up in the box as well. But if you look in this secondary depth chart, right, I put him behind Tyke Smith because he is listed as a strong safety. So when it comes to Benjamin Morrison, Zion McCollum, who made a good play at training camp today, just a FYI. I mean, Melifonwu is more of a depth piece to, put some competition with this team and with this group here on screen right now. But like I said, Bucs corner, Benjamin Morrison, is working on the side today with trainers at the start of the first practice of training camp. Once again, I wish we could have another thing on the bottom that says we can't get a win. Like, we literally cannot get a win. With the slight lack of depth, thank you, producer Cullen. We can't get a win again. Like, the injuries continue to hurt us, and it's starting on day one of training camp. Like, the Benjamin Morrison, the fact that he's not, yes, he's working with trainers and stuff, but oh my God. With the slight lack of depth in the secondary, adding Melifonwu is it's perfect to have an extra body at camp to allow competition, right? I don't think he's not a lock to make the squad, right? You sign him to a 1-year deal. I think maybe a special teamer, right? But I think he's going to be that backup corner, third string corner competition in there, maybe behind Josh Hayes and stuff like that. So does he make the squad? I don't think so. Maybe we'll have to see in training camp, but the veteran depth that we needed kind of get with Melifonwu, but he's more of an extra body to create competition in that room and, just more of a training camp dude who could possibly make the roster, but we'll have to see. Now, one more roster tweak for the Bucs. Shout out to Greg Allman. He's on top of it today. Who cut injured DT. I have always tried to say his name. A guy, that's it. And signed rookie DT Travis Shaw, who played at UNC and Texas and was briefly with the Patriots this summer. So, adding some DT depth. Hopefully, it's not because we're trading away Vita Vea soon. Do I think Vita Vea gets traded? I don't know. It doesn't seem good right now, the fact that he's sitting out and his back is tweaked. But you never know. And then a little bit more news in the NFC South as well. Some unfortunate news because you never want this to happen, whether it be your rivals or anything like that. Saints defensive tackle Brian Brzee, one of the linchpins for their defense and a rising star, is feared to have suffered a torn ACL per me and Mike Garafolo. While tests are ongoing, it's likely the former first rounder is done for the season. That is never good. I always want to beat the Saints at their best, at their highest. And Brian Brzee was one of the rising stars for that team. So that really sucks. But just, some NFC South news for you guys to chew on. All right, Bucs Nation. If you are excited and you cannot wait for Bucs football to be back, make sure to smash that like button on today's show. Let's see how many Bucs fans really are excited for the season to get started. As always, thank you so much for watching to the end of today's show. Fire the cannons, baby.